Hi, my name is Dave Weirmeir and I'm an artist, and welcome to my studio. This is a tutorial on how to finish a painting so it looks quite presentable. Presentation is everything in the art world, so if you know how to do things right, you'll do well. This is a painting I've done, and it's finished. As you can see, it's got a glossy varnish on it that makes it look like it's still wet, which is very nice. That's desirable. The sides have been painted white twice to block out any paint that's been overlapped. It hasn't got a signature on it. Sometimes you have to know when to sign a painting and when to not sign a painting. Abstract art a lot of times won't be signed. However, I've signed this one on the back. It says, with the title smeared analogous, David Weirmeir, 22, as in the year 2022, Abbotsford, British Columbia. And that's written right on the canvas with a pencil. Likewise, I've put a wire on the back of it, and that painting is done. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to put a wire on a painting. This is a diptych. It's a two-part painting, otherwise known as a diptych. You could also have a three-sided painting, which is known as a triptych. So the thing about getting two paintings at once is you want them to be painted evenly. And it's hard because one's always better than the other. But to get them very close is what the objective of doing a diptych is. So we'll just flip these over. I've already signed them on the back, and they're varnished, which is perfect. The sides have been painted white twice. All I need to do is put a wire on them. So this is the top over here. This is the top of the painting right here. So what you want to do is on each painting, on both sides of each painting, you want to measure down about a foot or 12 inches. And just mark it with a marker or a pencil or a pen. Then you want to take fasteners that you can hold a wire to, and you want to get some that will hold the weight of the painting. Some paintings are quite large, and you need a heavy-duty wire for them. So there's a couple fasteners, a couple screws, a couple fasteners, and a couple screws. And you need a screwdriver right here. You take the fastener and you put it to the mark that you left with the marker, and you screw it into the back of the painting. One on either side. Whoops, just slipped there. So continue until it's screwed in. And finally, the last one here. You have to do one on either side of both paintings. Then you want to put a wire into them. And for that, you're going to need some heavy-duty wire and some side cutters. You thread the wire in and twist it around itself. Just as such here. Twist it around itself. Now you want to make sure you do this properly, because the weight of the painting can pull the wire right out. See, that's very strong. I'm pulling on that really well. Do one on the other side. So go until you have a little bit of give, so it can hang on a wall. That's about right. Yeah, that's perfect. Now snip the wire off with your side cutters, otherwise known as pliers. There you go. And just twist it around itself. And maybe give it a tug to see if it'll hold, and that's perfect. That's a finished one. We have to do the other half of it. So take a second wire, put it through, thread it through the hole, and twist it around itself. Thread it through the second hole. It has to be slack. I need a little bit more because I want to try and match the other painting. So I'm just going to loosen it up a bit. There we go, that's about right. Take your side cutters and snip it off. And thread it around itself. And give it a tug. See, that'll hold. I'm pulling on that pretty good. And there you have a diptych that goes as such on the wall, just like that. Perfect. That's a finished painting. Now, we are going to move on to this painting, and we have to sign it. Now, the thing about signing a painting is when you're going to write your signature on a painting, white is your friend, okay? You can also go light with the lightest value color in your painting, but you don't want to go dark because a black signature will just ruin a painting. Now I have a very simple signature. Some people get pretty complex, but mine's easy to do. So you sign it in the bottom left or bottom right usually, or the top right or the bottom left. And I'll just go like this. There, that painting is signed. You have to know when to sign a painting and when not to sign a painting. A realist painting usually we would sign, but in some abstract paintings you just want to leave them alone because it takes away from the painting. We'll get to that. Now this painting, the sides I've already painted white once, but we have to paint them again to get a second coat on them so that no paint shows through. So just dip a big brush in there, take your painting, lift it up, put some dabs of paint on the side of the painting. Just like that. And when you're painting the sides of a painting, you want to hold it like this and go this way, because your bristles of the brush will never touch the face of the painting. You'll get the hang of it. It can be difficult at times, and that's why this is an intermediate video. As a beginner, you may have a problem starting off doing this. So you develop your skills as you go along. And like for signatures, for the longest time, I didn't know how to sign a painting, and I've just made a mess of them. It took me years to find out, or to figure out how to sign a painting. So just go along. Just dab some paint on the edge, and then just, as you can see, the bristles aren't touching the face of the painting because I'm painting in the opposite direction. Just do all four sides twice. You have to put 2 coats on there. That's one more side here. And I'm doing a pretty bang up job here. It's looking pretty good. Just move it around like that and lift it up. Just like so, and then smooth it out. Now I'm pretty experienced at this, so I can rush through it. But if you're just beginning, you want to take your time, because you don't want to make a mess of your painting. So I'll just put my brush in some water. And I'm going to put this painting up here to dry. And I'll varnish it another time after it dries. Maybe in a few days or something. Now finally, I'm going to teach you how to varnish a painting. To put varnish on it, if you cover your painting in varnish, it will never fade into the light. It'll always be the original color the day it was painted. Not to mention that it will look like it's still wet if you're using a glossy varnish. And that's very, very good. On a textured painting, you want to use a glossy varnish, and sometimes on a realist painting, you'll use a matte varnish. It depends on the person. So this is a pretty sharp painting. I did it the other day. It's called a Smeared Noton with Silver. And I think this is probably my best painting of the year. I'm not going to sign it because it would take away from the painting, but I'm going to show you how to varnish. Now I don't actually use varnish. I use this Thing. And you can get this at a hardware store. It's very expensive. It's about $100 for a big can like this. And you can get smaller cans too, but they're even more expensive. So if you buy a big can, you can do more paintings, and it actually works out that it costs less. So you open it up. You open it up, put this away. This is white paint. We'll put that away so it doesn't dry out. The great thing about this varnish there it is, is Varathane diamond wood finish, water-based outdoor gloss. And you actually use it on furniture, but it works very well on paintings. Now the thing about it is it has no smell. It has no chemical smell, and it's non-toxic. So it's perfect for people who are allergic to varnish or scents. So you want to work quickly because this stuff dries pretty fast. But if you notice, when I laid a ground coat, I went this way, and there's brush streaks in it. So what you want to do is go the opposite direction to create kind of a weave with the canvas. So you just dip your brush in and put some Varathane on it. Now this is going to be kind of cloudy as it goes on because it's fresh, but it'll dry translucent. You have to work quickly and evenly. Just apply it. Now we're going to go back and touch it up after to make sure we got a proper coat on it. But I just want to show you how it goes on first of all. This is going to shine when it's finished, and it'll never fade. It'll always be the original color with this Varathane or varnish on it. The thing about varnish is you can get cheap spray stuff, and it stinks and it yellows over time. This stuff is always going to stay translucent, and it won't get yellow. So you want to check back, see if you've missed any spots. This looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty even. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to make sure the sides are completely done. Go around it like this. And then because my base coat went this way, I'm going to make streaks this way. And in the end, when that dries, it'll look like canvas. It has opposing streaks. Now, because this is a textured painting, varnish or Varathane is going to collect at the ridges in the texture. So what you want to do is just go around the painting and clear away any deep spots of paraffin that are caught in the texture. You want to wait till your painting is completely dry before you do this. Otherwise, you're just going to make a mess of your painting. Acrylic paint takes about 2 days to dry if it's really thick. Well, that is pretty good. Now let's just take a look at it. You'll be able to tell if you've missed a spot. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's going to dry nicely. And that painting is, yeah, that's nice. Perfect. Okay, we'll put this in water. You always want to make sure you have clean water when you're doing this, and a clean brush. Very important, otherwise you'll ruin your painting. Now I need a sip of water here. And I want to show you the difference between a professionally done painting. This is a professionally done painting. It'd be difficult to frame this because it has a wide side. So it'd be difficult to frame this, but on a thinner painting, you could frame that easily. Here's some stuff that I've framed. Sometimes you want to know when you have to go black. This is a self-portrait. Actually, believe it or not, this is a selfie. And in the background, there's a painting. I'm going to get back to that. But sometimes you got to know when to go black and when not to sign your work. This is a textured painting. And I signed it in white. See, you can see that. There's my signature. And the thing about this one is because it's abstract, I've used a simple square frame. You can see that there? It's a simple frame. On realism, like this, you would want to use a more ornate frame. And that one's signed in white too. And that's the difference. Presentation is everything. And that's the difference between somebody who is an intermediate painter and somebody who's becoming a professional. It costs a lot of money, especially when you're doing large paintings, but framing makes all the difference. Just before I go, I want to show you something. I got this in the mail today. I was talking about that selfie I showed you. The painting in the background is my combat boots. I sent it 4,200 kilometers across Canada for a show called the Warrior Walkabout in Pembroke, Ontario. And I sold my painting of the combat boots to an old army buddy for $500. And I'm pretty proud of that. Thank you very much. This is my tutorial on how to finish a painting.